Hi guys, this is Christine, your relationship and mindset master doctor and your leverage for change. And today I want to kind of just introduce you to, or at least kind of give you an idea of when someone is playing mind games with you, right? And just to also recognize that if somebody's playing these kind of mind games with you, then they're not really looking for a relationship with you. They're really looking for a plaything, a toy, something that they can toy and play with, right? So just so that you know at the outset, if you see any of these signs, that you can recognize that someone is really just there to play mind games with you. For example, I'm going to just go over a few of them, and I'm sure a lot of individuals who've been in relationships may even recognize some of these things that may have happened with them in their past relationships. Hopefully, knowing that, you can now go into your to subsequent relationships and have the ability to identify these mind games that some people just feel they have to play, right? It's really disrespectful and really something that's hurtful and harmful to the other person's psyche. But a lot of people who do this they're not really thinking or caring that they're harming somebody else. So you have to protect yourself. All right, some of these, and also specifically, these kind of mind games, guys, usually is kind of like comes from the playbook of somebody who's a narcissist or someone who is a dismissive avoidant, and to a lesser extent the fearful avoidant attachment style, but usually the dismissive avoidant for sure, and also the person who's a narcissist. So these are people you would need to stay away from anyway, if these are things that they begin a relationship showing you that is how they want to treat you, or they intend to treat you, right? So these individuals will do things like they'll only reach out to you mostly by text. They're not going to call you and to sit and have a conversation with you, right? And there are individuals who will call you and have a conversation on the phone with you, but they're usually sometimes also ulterior motives, because they're letting you talk and say everything, just blab out everything about your life and all your experiences so that they know how to proceed. So you also have to be careful about that. So on one hand, this person may not really reach out to you to call you by the telephone to have an actual conversation to learn about you or for you to learn about them. If it is not a mutual exchange of information, guys, then you should watch out for that. It should be that this person is willing to share their life with you, as well as you sharing your life. But don't do it too early. Get to know them first before you share too many details of your life with an individual, okay? So this person will more than likely not, want to really have a conversation. They'll text and text and text. And it can, for people who are not kind of used to having been treated properly in a relationship, they may think that the constant texting or even the fact that they respond every once in a while is enough. So you have to really be someone who's already secure in who you are to really recognize a lot of these signals, guys, because if you are not healthy, if your relationship attachment style is unhealthy, which is a problem for the dismissive avoidant, the fearful avoidant, and the anxious preoccupied individual. This, you can be so anxious to have a relationship that you will put up with anything. So you have to really, first, you really should heal yourself, right? Heal from that attachment style to becoming more secure so that you're better able to identify these things and really recognize that these things are just signals that these people are sending you of who they really are. The next thing, guys, is that if you have someone that you're dating, right, and in private, when you're alone, they're very nice, very sweet and charming. But when you go out in public, They are very distant and cold, and sometimes can be very nasty to you, or say send insults your way, or ignore you, or they may even, if you're walking together, they may walk ahead of you a few steps, and so that you don't look like a couple. Then you should be careful. It's a mind game, because in what they're doing is that out in public, they're hopefully signaling to others who may, that they're not in a relationship with you, so they're quite open to other relationships. So if they see another woman, the person knows that they're not really with you, or because they can see that this person is either walking ahead of you, so this person couldn't really care for you that much, right? The aim is really to look single, so that other members of the opposite sex will feel they have some kind of chance with them, and so they don't want to appear as if you guys are a couple. So when the behavior in public and private contrast that much, these individuals are playing mind games with you. The next thing, as I said, is that if they call, they could call, right? But then the conversation might revolve mostly around not getting to know you, or if they get to know you, if they have a conversation, they will want to get to know you more than they will give any information about themselves, because they want to know how to proceed, what are your weaknesses and that kind of stuff, so they know how to proceed. These are people who have ulterior motives from the very beginning, so you have to kind of protect yourself, okay? And so if you see this conversation, in the rare instances that they actually call you, and the conversations are always leading to some sexual content, about your physical attributes, or or it might even be things that will focus mostly on your weaknesses or challenges in past relationship. They want to know that, because they want to know how to proceed, and the sexual content will be more like a test for you to see how far they can go with you. What are you going to allow? Do you have any boundaries, basically? All right. The next thing that you may notice with this kind of individual is that they will rarely be available on holidays. Things like holidays where they would probably be spending time with their family, or somebody who they perceive as being special to them, right? So it could be a girlfriend, and you're just out there on the periphery for the rest of the year whenever they want you, but they will spend. So if you can't make plans for Thanksgiving, Christmas, anniversary, what kind of holidays, like what is Valentine's Day, stuff like that, and on weekends they're not available on that kind of stuff, then you have to really question why. You have to wonder why that is, because that's not normal. When someone is interested in you, they want to spend pretty much every waking hour with you. That's not possible, of course, but they want to spend time getting to know who you are. All right. So if somebody is going to be missing for all the important days that people usually celebrate together, or the weekends, then there's something that's not right. They may also be the mind games is that because they are so open to other, like they're trying to also entice other members of the opposite sex, they will also turn it around on you and accuse you of being someone who's flirtatious, even though you've never, or if somebody is hitting on you, they'll blame you for that, right? So they're all going to always want to accuse you to make you feel as if you're doing something wrong, right? And the sad part is, the reality is that people are usually the part of them that they dislike the most. If this is a person who like to whore around, or to do things, like have multiple women and that sort of stuff, they're going to think that you're the same as they are. I remember someone that I know that would get really upset. Someone that I knew that would get really upset when you mention about infidelity, or something that about other individuals, and maybe one partner being cheating on the other one, only to find out much later on that this person was like a master cheater, right? It was like he had a PhD in cheating. And so this person hated that side of themselves. So that person, whenever you mention anything about infidelity to him, he would get really upset about it because he disliked that part of himself. So he's going to try, he hated it when it was mentioned with someone else because he disliked that part of himself so much, right? Another mind game is that a lot of people will still be very good friends with their exes. Now, it's good for them to be decent to their exes, but when it crosses the line of the fact that they have to invite them to any kind of event with you there, and always going over to their house and that kind of stuff, then it crosses a line. You have to know what you can tolerate. If this person is, of course, is a person's ex and they have to interact because of the kids, that's a different story. But if this person has nothing to do with, there's no reason for them to have that contact, and you're just always over, they're always over their homes, they're always inviting them to things, almost like they're still in their lives, and then you're the person that they're actually seeing. That's something that's wrong in that with that picture. Someone who cancels plans at the last minute, because usually, guys, someone like this who is playing mind games, they're doing it with several people, right? And maybe they have a particular person that they actually really like or really interested in, and if that person they'll have you on the back burner, and if that person at the last minute say okay, they will come to some date that they may have offered them in the in a couple in the past, then they are going to put your date on the back burner. You're not going to be important, and you have to kind of pay attention to these things. Last minute cancellations of dates, very disrespectful, as a matter of fact. Someone who may be very fastidious about their gym membership, they're always going to the gym and doing kind of stuff, and it's like, especially if before they were not, and all of a sudden you start seeing them doing all of these things, it's because maybe there's some kind of an interest, someone that interests them at the gym, and so they're there, or maybe they're now trying to look good for this person who they've found and is interested in. So you have to be kind of watch out for that. So guys, there's so many more, but basically somebody who's hot and cold, disappears often without any kind of prior warning, shut down when there's a problem that needs to be addressed. There might be aloof, and they don't ever signal to you that you are a priority in their lives. Then these are things that you have to be really careful about and watch out for early in the relationship, as well as it progresses, because some individuals can last a while, and these behaviors may not manifest themselves until a little later in the relationship. So hopefully, guys, you kind of have some kind of idea of what to look for someone who's really not interested in a relationship. They're mostly they're just interested in getting whoever they can and playing these mind games with them. So this is Christine, your relationship and mindset master doctor, and your leverage for change. Guys, I'll be starting a workshop series, the workshop for the anxious preoccupied individual, and it's going to be an 8-week workshop. I'm not going to be taking more than 30 individuals because I really want to be able to really have some touch point with each individual, so that if they have questions, I'll be able to answer the questions and kind of really just focus on getting you guys to a more secure state of being, so that you can really participate in more healthy relationships. So we're actually currently working on the modules for this workshop right now. It's going to be over a Zoom, and it's going to be 8 weeks, approximately 2 hours each week, where we spend just going through one module. There'll be 8 different modules, which will, by the end of that, will bring you to being a more secure individual. There will be work and practice that you have to do between the meetings, right, guys? So come ready to work. And this is something I offer only because I know that a lot of my clients, not a lot of people that I speak to on this channel or otherwise, just cannot afford a one-on-one coaching with me. But this is something that you are able to work with other individuals similar to you, having similar challenges, and that you'll be able to kind of just work through this process so that it's not the same as a one-on-one individual. It's just going to be more generalized, right? But it is something that you can learn from and grow from so that you can become more secure. Now, if later on afterwards you want to do a couple personalized coaching sessions that will be specific to your particular needs, then that's different. But this will get you at a good place where you can become so much more secure, so you can enter into relationships as a more secure individual. All right, so just keep watching out for my posts and my updates for this workshop that will be starting in March, guys, for 8 weeks. And I'm not going to be taking more than 30 individuals. So guys, reach out as quickly as I post it. I'll be posting the cost of this. I'm just working things through right now, individual of this workshop. And so you pay that one cost, it would be nothing compared to what you'd pay for one-on-one coaching with me. So guys, I look forward to really working with you in this format, because it will be something that I believe will help you to move to being more secure, so you can really enjoy relationships and instead of being like a victim of relationships. All right, so again, guys, also please don't forget to like and share my video if you find some value in it. Also, if nothing else, like the video, guys, because it does it works with some YouTube algorithm for them to show my video to more people so that they can learn more about themselves. In the meantime, guys, keep growing and take care, okay? Bye-bye.